There's another beard.
An unpromising shot, and he makes the best of it. That is pretty.
And now Steve Wilson strike up, shooting in the 5th frame. Now he trails by only 1. All right.
Just see it in his demeanor, the look in his eye. Much more confident. Threw just an excellent shot there. His best shot of his 1.5 games he's bowled in the championship round so far. Faces do tell the story. A little mystery in those eyes. Very cold. A little confidence in this young man. So he trails by 1, can take the lead here in the 6th with 1 more strike. I think that he slipped a little bit, Chris, in his pivot step, his second to last step. Synthetic approaches, if there's any problem the players complain about, is a little, not quite enough traction. In fact, speaking with Norm Duke earlier before we went on air, he says, wouldn't it be ideal if we could have synthetic lanes and wood approaches? And I have to agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now to retain, or to remain trailing by 3 pins, the 6-10.
Good job. He's satisfied with that frame.
Okay, as this replay will illustrate, you'll see him slip in his pivot step. Right here, his 4th step, he doesn't quite kick off enough, and so he doesn't project the ball down the lane. It runs high, causing the 6-10 spare, which he converted. Varying speeds. You got to keep the ball speed up, especially under pressure. I think if there's 2 things a young man or any pro has to think about, is keep your arm close to your body so you keep the direction, keep the ball speed up so it doesn't drift on the lane.
Oh, like you, Ken's inspiration came from his father. His dad's a good bowler, averages about 210. He has a brother, Don, that's 200 bowler.
Always helps to come from a bowling family.
Mm-hmm. And how are they back in St. Louis, your parents?
My parents are doing well. June and Nelson Burton, great parents.
Produced some pretty great offspring.
Thank you. 2-pin difference, 7th frame.
Stubborn 3.
Give Muscato credit through 7 frames. He hasn't beaten himself to this point. If he makes the spare, he will lead by 1 pin with the critical 3 frames left.
Drove a cement mixer truck prior to coming out on shore. Now he's doing well, as you can see. We'll be back. Robert Smith is a national amateur champion, and he is our tournament leader on the Professional Bowlers Tour. A wonderful young bowler, Nelson.
Yes, he is, Chris. Something to watch. He's exciting, confident, and he's gotten the respect of the pros in his very first week of the 1994 season. Now, as we come up in the 7th frame, Steve Wilson, who has 1 victory under his belt, 4 spares, 2 strikes this match, trails by 1. Let's see if he can cut into that lead of another rookie out here making his first championship round, Ken Muscato.
Mm-hmm. Second crossover strike of the afternoon for Steve.
Well, that's when it's going your way. If you miss far enough, you cross over and you get rewarded. He's had 2 crossover strikes. Let's see if he can make the most of it. I think one of the great reasons that Dick Weber was such a tremendous champion, when he got a good break, he jumped right on top of it. And a lesson from him can be learned by Steve Wilson right now, if he can capitalize and take the lead, 8th frame.
Well, Bo, instead we get another situation here.
Well, fast feet and a errant shot to the right. A little too quick with his feet, kind of adjusting to that high shot he had in the previous frame on the left-hand lane. Now he's got a situation where he has to get the ball to the left of the head pin, just to the edge of the lane. He has about an inch left. However, It doesn't get far enough back to the head pin. Now he has to get the ball left of the head pin, drive 1 into the 10.
Wow.
Big mistake.
Big. Patty Connor and Mike Connor, you see in the shot often, commissioner of the PBA there. And this is a very serious Ken Muscato, leading by 17 now, shooting the 8 to spare up. So it's a 4-7.
The key on low-scoring or more of match-play lane conditions, as we find here today at Cal Bowl, is to avoid the open frame. So far, Muscato has done that with good strike shots and excellent spare making, and he has to keep in that form as he finishes this game. All right, come on.
You just joined us. Our first match was won by Steve Wilson over Justin Romack, 204 to 169.
Wilson still confident. Muscato a little apprehensive. Why we're seeing so many washouts today where a ball seems to apparently only miss the target by maybe a ½ inch to the left or right, depending whether it's a left-hander or right-hander, as we evidence in this replay, is that synthetic lane surfaces, when you hit the oil, that's the first 36 feet as the PBA has prepared them today, it hydroplanes if you don't catch the lift and slides by the head. Slide.
So how prevalent are synthetic lanes in the country?
Chris, when we first started doing these telecasts together 20 years ago, I don't think we ever bowled on synthetics.
No.
And then last year, I would say about 33% of the lane conditions were synthetic, so you must make the adjustment. One pin difference, 9th frame.
Foundation strike. So that changes the complexion of this match.
Ooh. Head pin to the sideboard, drives the 2 into the 4, 4 into the 9. What a terrific break. It's such an opportune time. And right now, for Steve Wilson, he can close out the match with 2 more strikes. A possible 210. If he doesn't strike, Muscato can win.
There's one.
That 1-pin lead that he had going into the 9th is really the big point right now, Chris. However, if he gets 9 spare, it sets up a situation where we could have a 199 tie, a strike here. It's lock city for Steve Wilson.
There it is. Disappointed. A little bewildered, too, as a fine young bowler in Ken Muscato. This week's Choice Hotels Tip of the Week features fireballer Ron Winger, an old friend of Nelson Burton Jr.'s